Electromaker is partnering with TI here at Embedded World 2026, and the first demo we're going to be taking a look at is this robotic arm. Now, robotic arms in general present a number of challenges because you're basically using fine power control over any particular joint, and that has a lot going on. You need to give an incredible fine amount of control, you need a lot of feedback that comes back from it, and when you're moving motors, you are generating heat. Now, I'm here with Kristen, who's going to tell us about a couple of different products that can help you with these development designs. So, in a broad overview, what are we looking at here and what is TI bringing to the table?
So what we're showing here is basically first a joint motor control where we did a so-called TI reference design. Mm-hmm. This one is the TIDA 010979. If you search this online, you can basically find the full Altium file, all the projects that you can see what we did. Now what you see here is basically a full power stage with Ethernet communication, in this case EtherCAT communication, 2 BiSS encoders, GaN FETs, and delta sigma modulators for inline current sensing. Now why we picked GaN FETs for this design is basically we see a need to try and size minimize. And the GaN FET will be able to allow you a better power optimization or a better power density, but also reduce the DC link cap of the system. So you have the capability of miniaturize everything and try and make a small system solution and not have to compromise on different things. The second piece of it, we are also showing a hand design. Here we are showing a multi-axis design with one EtherCAT connection going out and one C2000 DSP controlling 6 motors at the same time. Here we are showing it with SPI encoders, and this is basically depending how the company builds the motor, there are different encoder interfaces you need to do, and we can support pretty much any encoder interface you need with either our AM261 processor you see down here, yep, or the F28 P65 processor from up here. Yes. Now, the second piece of this is also up here. You see the power stage up here is basically a 3-phase gate driver with integrated FET, integrated low side current sensing to try and miniaturize the system. As you see, the hand is very small, but you need to add a lot of motors or electronics into a small system. Absolutely. And we are trying to show that. Here, it's a little bit more powerful, and that's why you see we use the GaN FETs, and in this case here, we can do 1 kilowatt with this small design.
So these are a couple of different options for working in different settings. As you say, size is an issue. But another issue, of course, is communication, because traditionally with robotics, you'll have a brain that needs to speak to all of the different parts, not only controlling them, but processing information from them in near real time, which can be a lot of information in the long and short of it. So with these kind of designs, which have a microcontroller on board, what kind of options do developers have in terms of how they use that information and how it is transferred around from, say, processing on chip here or processing in a big brain, as it were?
So what we do here is we basically have a either gigabit or 100 megabit Ethernet connection. So you can choose if you want to send a lot of data, yep, or less data. Now, what you need to decide as a system designer is you need to decide, where do I put my control loops? So do I put the torque? Do I put the speed? Where do I put the position? Now, with this, there is also data you need to gather for these systems, right? As one of the items could be, I need some kind of torque feedback. Do I take that from the current measurement? Do I take that from a torque sensor? How do I take that data? Do I process it downstairs or do I process it in the main controller? Many options, right? But what we also show with the processor is we have something called a tiny AI. It's an AI, small neural network engine that can help you process the system closer to where you need to actually use the data. Yeah. One of the other things you need to decide is, and put a lot of attention to, is the communication interface to the main controller. This communication interface, you need to ensure it's a real-time, low latency, low jitter, because you want all the different axes to move in a synchronous, very smooth way. Absolutely. And the more time precise you can make that, the more smooth the movement will be. And also, the faster you can make it move. So there are two points to it, right? One other thing you also need to consider is there is, in the hand, the capability you need to do tactile sensing. And the tactile sensing is additional data you need to consider. What do you do with it? How do you process it? And this is where we also have some of our newer parts, like the AM13X device, which also have this tiny AI engine inside. And you can use it for these type of purposes. Very small processors that can do a lot of these local processing and pass less data up. so you can, let's say, size and cost optimize your system.
Absolutely, yeah. And I suppose one of the more important questions here for developers that might be watching this is that you've mentioned obviously there are various different options for how you could use these things, but not only are the parts here all very wide and could be used for various different things depending on what you need. You mentioned that there are these two reference designs as well. For developers who want to get started using these parts and learning exactly how they could work, how they could integrate them into their designs, and where do they find more information about the parts and these reference designs?
So on the reference design, we have something called TI design with these TIDA numbers. Those TIDA numbers, if you search those online, you can basically find them directly. You get Altium projects, a design guide on test measurements, everything very condensed. A second piece of it is also we have app notes online on different types of robots and how you do architectural decisions. Yeah. One big piece we also need to mention is these processors here are also functional safety capable. Yeah. So they are either rated up to hardware capability of SIL 3 or SIL 2. And we also work with TÜV doing system concepts. So if you get an NDA with us, we can share a lot more data on how to also figure out the functional safety aspect, which is a topic that needs to be solved, and a lot of times it's not solved yet. Yeah. And here we are definitely focusing a lot on this.
Perfect. And all of the links, by the way, that we mentioned in the videos are going to be things that are available in the bottom of this video underneath it, or if you're seeing this on another platform, it'll be next to it. Those reference designs will be linked especially as well. And there is a splash page that shows exactly all of the things we have talked about from a top-down level if you would like to find out more about it. But yes, we have been partnering here with TI. If you would like to find out anything more about this, the first link under this video will be a blog post that links out to everything that we talk about today. So thank you very much for your time, Christian.
Yeah, thank you for having me.